Hi everyone, I wanted to talk today about self-compassion and how you can view it, especially for those people who have never done this practice or engaged in this practice before. There are like three ways that we meet ourselves in a certain space. So there is the turning towards ourselves when we are in emotional, mental, or physical pain. There is turning away from ourselves, and there is turning against ourselves. So the self-compassion falls in the category of turning towards ourselves. And what this means is that when we have this sort of emotional, mental pain, we notice it, we realize that we are in pain, and we meet ourselves in that space. So we look at it, we look at the pain, we turn towards it, just like you would turn towards, someone you love. And, we meet it there, we look at, in the eye, and we look it in the eye with kindness. The other two ways are turning away and turning against. Turning away is very much about distracting yourself when you're feeling pain. Now, I know sometimes this is necessary, but when we are in emotional pain and we continue to turn away from ourselves, what happens is that the emotions start to become louder until we are able to turn towards them. Just like distraction, if you're distracting from a lot of chores that you need to do, right? Those chores aren't going to go away. They might get louder as time goes on and become a bit more urgent to do. So this is the same way our emotions work, is that turning away for too long leads to these emotions becoming bigger and stronger, which then become more difficult to deal with. And then the third way is turning against ourselves, which means self-criticism, calling ourselves names, blaming ourselves for everything. That's turning against ourselves. So self-compassion is turning towards. The first thing you might want to do in the self-compassion practice is to say, ouch, I'm in pain. And then the second thing would be to turn towards yourself and say to the pain, I see you. And that is the start of a self-compassion practice.